Hey y'all, hi everybody, it's Mo here. Thanks for coming to my channel where I do mostly commentary and other stuff. In today's video, I'm going to share some of my unpopular opinions. Let's get right to it. First off, right off the bat, I just want to say this wasn't even on my list, but it's my number one biggest unpopular opinion. I do not like clothes. I don't understand why we have to wear clothes. Clothes suck. They squish you, they squeeze you, they rub up against you, they're uncomfortable, they're scratchy, they're rough. No. Team, no clothes. No clothes, none of the time. But I understand some of y'all don't like to see people's bodies, so that's why I wear clothes. But I don't wear clothes to cover my body. I wear clothes so other people are more comfortable. Except like if it's winter and stuff, to protect yourself from the elements. But I'm not happy about it. I'm never happy about wearing clothes. Number 2, walking up to somebody and going, "Do you know how pretty you are?" is not a compliment. Okay? You're backhanded saying that I have like low self-esteem and I don't think I'm pretty. But you're also kind of saying that I'm pretty because like I'm gonna try to manipulate you or something like that. If you want to tell me I'm pretty, just tell me I'm pretty. Just like, "You're so cute. You're so pretty." Or something like that. Don't be like, come in and be like, "Oh my gosh, do you know how pretty you are?" And when I go, "Yes," call me conceited or say I'm ungrateful and I'm not being like thankful you're complimenting me. Boy, I did not ask you for your compliment. Okay? My mommy is pretty. Everyone says I look like my mommy. Therefore, I've always assumed people thought I was pretty. Even when I didn't feel like I looked pretty, but after a while I looked at myself and I was like, "Girl, you're fine." I know. I don't care if you think that makes me conceited. I never bought in to the idea that you need to hate yourself. In the same vein, no one has to thank you for your compliments. Okay? Not because you complimented the person doesn't mean they have to thank you. Is it nice when they thank you? Yeah. But they don't have to thank you. Because sometimes you think you're complimenting someone, but you're like triggering something in them. You never know what someone's been through. They don't have to thank you. Okay? Let me tell you a story. But also, some of y'all think y'all complimenting people and y'all are not. And some of y'all are trying to use compliments as a way to manipulate and control people. Let me tell you what I mean. There was this one resort I worked at. One of the ladies who worked in an office expected me, the yoga teacher, to come to work dressed professionally for office work in office attire, then change before my class, and then change back into office attire. That is right. So one day I came into work. I used to go to the manager's cocktail once a week to promote my yoga classes and like mingle with the guests and stuff. So I came to work and I didn't have to teach that day. I just came to do the cocktail party, and I was wearing a cute little dress. And when I got off the bus, she looks at me and she's like, "I prefer it when you dress like this." So I just looked at her because what am I supposed to say to that? So I go into the office, I'm speaking to the manager, I'm like, I still had stuff that needed to get done. I think I also had a meeting as well, because that's when I also used to do like marketing for retreats. I used to like sell the retreat packages to other yoga teachers to bring groups down to the resort to do the retreats. So I think I had like a lot of paperwork to do for that. So anyways, So I'm in there like in the back office, like printing stuff out and getting like doing my paperwork. And she comes in and she's telling the manager, she's like, I complimented Mo and she didn't even answer me. And I was like, no. You did not compliment me. If you complimented me, you'd have said, I like your dress. But you told me I prefer it when you dress like that. You were just making a comment. You were telling me your thoughts. How am I supposed to thank you for your thoughts? You did not compliment me. She did not. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Practice complimenting people with no expectations, no strings attached. Next one. Putting your beauty standards on someone else is not a compliment. Just because you like eyebrows a certain way does not mean everyone likes eyebrows a certain way. Just because you like noses a certain way doesn't mean everyone likes noses that certain way. Too often, I see people trying to use their idea of beauty to judge other people. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Just because you like makeup a certain way doesn't mean everyone should do it like that. Just because you like hair a certain way doesn't mean everyone should be like that. Let's normalize appreciating the differences in people, and let's normalize different not being the same as wrong. Okay? Let's be able to say, well, I wouldn't do my makeup like that, but I can see how this is beautiful. We don't even have to say all that, you know? Like, you thinking another person is beautiful doesn't mean you want to have the same thing they have, you know? I just don't understand what is wrong with y'all. That y'all think there's only, y'all still, in the year of our Lord 2020, season 2, y'all still think there is one way to be beautiful. And you'll still have people going out and do BBL. You'll still have people thinking that they need to have lips a certain way. And you'll still have people saying so-and-so is not beautiful. And you'll still have people judging other people by unrealistic beauty standards. We can't all look the same. Get over it. In the same vein, not because something worked for you doesn't mean it will work for everybody. Like, I just don't understand people going, you need this. This is the most important moisturizer ever, and everybody needs that moisturizer. Everybody doesn't need that moisturizer. Everybody doesn't have your skin. Not because this moisturizer gave you the best skin of your life doesn't mean it won't break somebody else out. And if the other person says that it broke them out, don't come for them like they're lying. I just don't understand these things. Y'all understand? Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Speaking of comments, y'all don't have to comment on everything. And you don't have to reply to anything. You can use your finger to keep scrolling past something if you don't agree with it. You don't need to give us your opinion about everything. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for that engagement. But some people just think that their opinion is gold and they need to comment on everything. You don't. You don't. You can see that thing, you can get angry, and you can be like, nope. And find a better use of your time. Okay. Now, we're going to go like totally off topic. And let's stop saying half sibling. Yeah, that's right. Let's stop saying that. Like, I only have half siblings. That's none of your business. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of times when people have corrected me and I'll be like, my brother, and they're like, your half brother? Do I half love him? Y'all know why y'all want to make that distinction of like my half brother versus my full brother? It's because back in the day, there used to be like legitimate children and illegitimate children, and that would affect your standing in society because it would affect how much you would inherit. And that's why people want to make that distinction. And so they also want to comment on your parents' morality for not having all their children only with one person. They want to like, that's just classist bullshit, and stop it, okay? That's it. Next. You can know you're not going to like something without trying it. I'm not saying to use that as an excuse to not try new things, but sometimes you have enough information about something based on your lived experience to know that it probably won't work for you. Like, this is the age of reviews everywhere. Like, you can know. For example, I do not like falling. I don't like that feeling of falling. I don't like scary movies. I don't like doing anything for the rush. It's not a rush. It's not nice. It's not comfortable. I do not like it. So when we went to theme park, I knew I did not want to ride a roller coaster. I knew I would not enjoy riding a roller coaster. But I agreed to go on one roller coaster if I would not be upside down. The only roller coaster that did not put me upside down was the highest roller coaster with the biggest drop. So I was scared. I went on the roller coaster. When I got off the roller coaster, I was shaking so much, like I had no voice. I was just whimpering. I could barely walk. My friends had to like support me. It was bad. So what I'm saying is, sometimes you know yourself enough to know you won't enjoy something. Don't do it. Listen to your gut. Listen to your feelings, because like, even if those feelings, you can't even really articulate them, but they're from your lived experiences, and so much of us have had our lived experiences discounted for so long that we're just not used to, we never figured out how to articulate or how to say, like, based on my experience XYZ, or people don't believe us, so we feel like we have to do the thing to show that we won't like it. But sometimes I can smell food and know it won't taste good. Speaking of food, stop calling people picky eaters, y'all. Stop calling people picky eaters. There was a time, and maybe you still feel like we live in that time, when you didn't have a choice. There was a time when children were expected to eat what they put in front of you. In fact, in general, people were expected to eat what they put in front of you, but we know better now. We know there's something called sensory eaters, where some of us cannot take on certain textures, we cannot take on certain smells, but most importantly, you know what really pisses me off? What pisses me off is when people who know I have food allergies, who have seen me eat food and immediately proceed to violently throw up and be sick for days. People who have seen me walk into a nail salon and my face immediately swell up. People who have seen me eat certain things and start coughing and choking will then be upset when I choose not to eat food that harms me and call me a picky eater. Don't use that phrase, y'all. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. There's too much politics involved in food. Let people eat what they want, okay? And if you have a stronghold on like restricting your food or whatever, if you can, please find help. Deal with your issues. But don't project on other people, and just stop. Do that one thing for me. Just stop using the phrase picky eater. Okay? You don't know what somebody is struggling with. I don't know if they're struggling with eating disorder, allergies. And also, while we're on the topic, if you offer someone food and they say no thank you, don't ask them for a reason why. That's not your business. They get to choose what goes inside their body. If that person says no thank you, just be like, okay, and move on. More for you. Sometimes when people see I eat certain things, they'll be like, ew, I could never eat that. Fine, I don't care if you don't eat it. More for me. You don't like raw cashews? A lot of people don't like raw cashews. They only like roasted. I love raw cashews. You don't like raw cashews? That makes me happy. That's more for me. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? Come on. Now, this one, I'm pretty sure it's not an unpopular opinion. But what I hate is when people text you. Well, first of all, we all agree though that nobody should be calling nobody's phone, right? I don't know you like that. Don't call me, text me. But when you text me, Don't text me hi. Wait for me to text you back. And then text me what you want to say. So, what's the point? If you want to send me a message that says something. I'm telling you, going forward, very rarely will I respond to texts that simply say hi or just good morning. I don't know you like that. We're not good morning friends. I have my friends that text me morning. They're just checking in to make sure I'm still alive. But if I don't know you like that, I don't know you like that. When you're texting me, you can text me morning. Morning, Mo. Are you going to town today? Morning, Mo. Would you like to go to the beach with me? Morning, Mo. I'd like to follow up on my previous message. Put something in there that tells me why you're messaging me. You expect me to sit there and message you, so you want to know I'm sitting there waiting for you to message me. You don't see you have a problem. You don't see you need to talk to your therapist about that. If you don't have a therapist, read a book or something, because that's a little controlling and I'm not here for it. I'm gonna make a video on this topic, but until I do, y'all need to get off whatever idealized idea of relationships y'all have and know that all relationships don't last forever. Now, I'm an extreme case apparently, and a lot of people think like you need to hold on to somebody. No, you don't want to be friends with me anymore? Fine, bye. You don't want to be my boyfriend anymore? Boy, fine. Okay, go. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to be sad. I'm going to be sad. But literally, if there's nothing I can do to make you stay, it's fine. We've grown to different places in our lives. You want somebody else. It's fine. We need to figure out a way to be okay with relationships not lasting forever. Whether it's our relationships or relationships of people we love. Like, you thought they were going to be together forever. You thought you were BFF, best friend forever, but we're not. We're best friends for 6 months, best friends for what? It doesn't matter. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Trust me. When a relationship ends, like, think about the good things that you took from it. Think about what you learned. And know that other relationships will be coming. Next, is something you enjoy can be problematic. Those are not the two same things. Like, you can enjoy a comedian's comedy. You can even think it's funny. You can think it's funny and brilliant, and you can laugh at it and still realize that it's problematic and he shouldn't have said it. Because that's just, y'all know, you know what? That's the way things is. I have to explain that to you? That's a problem. You think because you enjoy something, it has to be good. If that was the thing, it wouldn't be so funny when people fall. Like, when someone falls, you know you want to laugh. You know. Like, you know when someone falls are funny. But also, like, you gotta check if they're okay. Like I don't know about y'all, but when someone falls, at the same time my brain is like, ha 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 ha. My brain is always, so are they okay? And if your brain takes some time to go from ha 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 to are they okay, that's fine. But things can be funny and enjoyable and also problematic. You know? Like, your car, you like your car, but it's bad for the environment. You can like cruises. Like, you can like a cruise and at the same time realize that cruises are bad for the environment. It's not like you can only enjoy things if they do not, like, zero harm. And if they're, like, totally wholesome. You know what I mean? Like, you can like ratchet 90s rap music. Oh, you can like dancehall Y'all, nothing is as homophobic as dancehall music. And even like every few months you'll see Caribbean gays posting on the internet, like, when you're trying to be a good ally, when you're trying to be a good gay, an X song comes on and like the song slaps, it bangs, whatever the kids are saying now, but you're like trying not to dance. but the song, like, there's a song in St. Lucia that's called Pretty on Purpose.
Girl, you're pretty on purpose. You make a man get nervous.
And it's like a guy sings it, and I think he's complaining. I don't really quite get it. That, like, you're pretty on purpose and you're using your prettiness to manipulate him. And y'all, there are soca songs, Caribbean music, that I just refuse to dance to. One of them is That's My Property. It's like, as long as I dance with you, in effect, I'm your property. No, I refuse to dance to that song. Like, I will stand still. That's like one of those. But Pretty on Purpose, like, the melody of Pretty on Purpose is like it's a nice song, but the message, like, that can be okay. I don't have to defend Pretty on Purpose because I enjoy it. I can both enjoy it and call it out for what it is. Come on, y'all. Come on. We can do this. In the same vein, you don't have to agree with your friends or your faves all the time. People are like, you pick a side and you stick to the side. And if you disagree with me, that means we can't be friends. You know what? That's not how it is. I could tell y'all stories, but y'all, come on. That is what is dividing us. And oftentimes it's about nonsense. I can support you and also point out your flaws. And you see this a lot in politics, where if you're a member of a certain party, if you voted for a certain individual, it's like you then cannot criticize them. How does that make sense? When you vote for somebody, it's like they're your employee. So then you kind of have to tell them what you want. If they then do something you don't agree with, you have to tell them. That doesn't mean you hate them. That doesn't mean you're not going to vote for them. Although it might mean you're not going to vote for them. But when you criticize somebody, especially if you do it in a way so that you're criticizing their action, you're criticizing the action, not who the person is. What I'm saying is, you can criticize your friends and your faves, and that does not mean you dislike them as a person. Speaking of which, I saw something the other day about somebody being like, how are you brutally honest with your friends or something like that? Brutally honest? Brutally honest? The word brutally, that means you're like intentionally trying to cause harm. You can be honest with your friend and broach a difficult topic, and you can do it with kindness and tact. You can tell somebody, check your breath. Like, you can, like, if you and your friend are in somewhere and they have a little bad breath, you can be like, check your breath. You know? Or you can be like, hey, your breath smells a little off today, or something like that. You can say it in a nice way. But some of y'all want to be like, girl, your breath stink like rotten eggs. And then you think, I'm just being honest, just saying. Yo, that phrase, just saying, I hate that phrase because it's never preceded or proceeded by anything good. Also, the phrase, no offense. No, you know you're about to say something offensive. Try and say it a different way. Say it with kindness. You can say it with kindness. But y'all want to be mean and y'all want to be like, I'm just being honest. And while we're at it, being honest and being direct is not the same thing. Because y'all are like, I'm just honest. And then y'all will use that to villainize like people who have autism, who direct. Y'all will villainize them. But it's not the same thing. Because some of you expect to go all over and say everything than to say what you mean. Let's go back to the breath example. You will be like, you want some gum? You want some gum does not necessarily mean I have bad breath. You can be having some gum and offer me gum. I cannot have gum. I literally cannot have gum. If you've been in any of my lives, you hear how much I burp. If I chew gum, I sometimes go full throw up. So if you offer me gum, I'm not going to know that means my breath. You understand what I mean? But if you say to me, check your breath, I might tell you, oh, you have a mint. because I can have a mint. It might have been something I ate. I might be able to like go into the bathroom and rinse out my mouth, and that might be better. Like, you can be direct, and it's not the same thing as being brutally honest. Now, y'all don't have to agree with me on any of these opinions because, like I said, you can be friends and not agree. But I have one more, and it's just petty. It's so petty, I forgot to actually say it. So here it is. All those fake foods suck. I have never been one to eat those fake things. If you want to eat bacon, just eat bacon. When I was in grad school, my one roommate would get turkey bacon and I never ate it. Some of her friends were over and they're like, "You're not having turkey bacon?" I'm like, "No, I do not eat bacon. I therefore do not eat turkey bacon." And my roommate was like, "She's just like my grandparents. If they don't eat the..." She was Hindu, so her grandparents don't eat certain things. Actually, I think they were full vegan. She's like, they don't eat, and she had a word for it, certain foods, they don't eat the fake ones either. And, like, y'all know, turkey bacon is not as good as real bacon. Vegan steak, what the hell is vegan steak? Okay? If you're eating eggplant, call it roast eggplant, not vegan steak. Tofurkey. If you want to eat tofu, not to call it tofurkey. It doesn't taste like turkey. Like, call the thing what it is. Stop calling it the fake thing. Like, I refuse to eat Boca burgers because it's trying too hard to be meat. I will eat bean burgers. I will eat veggie burgers. No. Like, I know this one is a me thing because I know some of y'all are like, since I stopped eating eggs, I really just vegan cheese. Y'all, I hear vegan cheese is a lot better, but y'all, back in the day, those vegan cheeses, anyways, yes, that's my rant on fake food. You know, just call the thing what it is, not to call it what it isn't, because it never tastes as good as the real thing. So anyway, that's my unpopular opinions. I'm sure I have plenty others, but this video would be too long if I kept on going because I'm sure I can go on for hours. Comment down below, what are your unpopular opinions? And be kind and respectful in the comments because I don't have time for this. I will delete y'all. Okay, everybody. I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.